Morning, everyone. I'm not going to say the previous word that goes before it because it really isn't if you're a Tottenham Hotspur fan, because we did our show and everyone did their shows on obviously what happened with Lewis. We were all talking about the effects it could or couldn't have and what's going to happen. And since then, we've had a day of centre back woe. And we ended the evening knowing that today we go into Harry Kane woe. This is going from bad to worse to downright terrible. We're going to be discussing quite a few things, and I'm with a man right here, right now, who, because of him and a little tweet that he did, I had to recharge my phone 3 times yesterday because it went bananas. Johnny, how are you, brother?
I'm all right. I'm a bit tired after. I mean, listen, it's just been relentless. You know, just when you think, well, it's been a year. This is the face of a year at Tottenham, right? Worn down by the weekly disaster that comes of the club, the weekly embarrassment, and you know, just when you think there's no way it can get any worse, it does. But can it get worse? Can it get worse? I don't think it can get much worse until we start the season and poor old Ange hasn't got any centre backs, and you know, I think it is going to get extremely toxic and extremely nasty out there. Not for Ange, but for a certain guy who sits as chairman, because he needs to deliver those centre backs and a replacement for Harry. End of. Otherwise, it's just gonna go mad. You think it was toxic before? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I mean, you said, could it get any worse? I don't know if it could get any worse. Please, Spurs fans, realise how many years have we been saying this, and it just keeps on coming. Just a couple of things of housekeeping to very quickly talk about, very, very quickly, or not even to talk about the first one. I'm just going to give myself a pat on the back right now because today I am 15 years sober, and I'm absolutely,
Congratulations.
thank you, mate. It's one of the best, or it is the best achievement in my entire life. And the more important news is obviously I share that special day with someone's date of birth, and we're going to start.
Harry.
Harry,
Birthday, Harry. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. Harry Kane. And of course, these rumours, and you know, it's all been rumours and you don't know where it's going. Has there been truth to it? Has there not? And then all of a sudden, Fabrizio Romano breaks and speaks. And then once he's done it, whether you agree with him or not, whether you like what he does or not, Fabrizio Romano talks. There is clout behind it. There is serious, serious clout behind it. And for what we're talking about right now, from what I'm understanding, is there's another meeting today.
Yeah.
To discuss
a sausage and a coffee today.
it's this, unfortunately. I don't listen. I do not want Harry Kane to go. I have to stress.
No one wants Harry Kane. Well,
I have to stress.
There are some out there, Brian, who do want him to go. And look. Let's just say 435 appearances, 280 goals, 64 assists, 3 Premier League Golden Boots, 1 Premier League Playmaker Award, 1 FIFA World Cup Golden Boot, all-time leading goal scorer at Spurs of 280 goals. Yeah, 280 goals. And England's all-time leading goal scorer. Generational talent. You cannot replace that, okay?
Johnny, Johnny, you just missed out the elusive Audi Cup and the Walter Toll Cup.
And the Tiger Cup that we were proudly holding last night. let that one sink in. Look, I actually think, I've got to say this, I think the way Bayern have behaved, right, is an absolute disgrace, right? No one's pulled them up. I thought there used to be a law that if a player was under contract, that you had to approach the club, right, to have conversations. I know they do it via the agents and all the rest of it, but they have conducted this in the press, putting the pressure on. Now, it has not helped the club, and I'll tell you why. Because, say, for example, we want to replace Kane with Mawani or an Ivan Toney. The price, if you get your 100 million, the price is going way up, right? Every deal we do will be going through the roof. Now, what you would have done, had you been sensible, if Bayern had approached with stealth and approached Levy and said, look, this is what we want to do. The player wants to do it. We then could have gone about our business, right? Yes, the fans would have speculated something. Kane must be going because we bought 2 centre-backs. We bought another, we bought this, we bought that. But no, not our club, right? No. We have to do it this way, drag it out, not get any of the bloody players. And now what the situation we've got is, even if we do sell Kane, everyone's price is going to go through the bloody roof. And we are going to suffer again because of it. It's a joke.
Yep. Do you know what? How rude of me. I completely forgot to welcome people into the building. We've just woken up, but it takes a little while to register. So I'm just going to say hi to C to the fourth, inside the training, Mark Cousins, Andy Lloyd, James Flower, AJ, Johnny Bethnal Green, Wolves V. Who else have we got in it? Tin Legs Tony. Every time I see that, every time I see it, I go to say Tiny Legs Tony, and then I realise it's Tin Leg. AJ's in here. Blake, my brother from Australia, and again, look. My troll from Australia, my burner from Australia is in the building, but apparently that guy's me. But big up Blake in Australia. Mark's in the building. Cole Higgins. Who else have we got? The Alex Scott Appreciation Society. Big up. Bill's in here. Mike Pepper, Bobby Andrews, Phil P. Woo is in the building. Dave Hamilton. Who else we got? Andreas Petu and P. And that is everyone. So sorry. Let's get back, people. Thanks again for letting us hit 6,000. We are going to be doing more of these pop-ups, a lot more of these pop-ups when need be. And the Bertie Hotspur, a big friend of mine.
When need be, Brian. Well, you mean there could be more? You mean there could be more drama along the way?
Yeah, I think soon. I think soon Spurs Channel is just going to have to go live the 24-hour charity streams, just because news is going to keep coming our way.
Where's bloody Amazon when you need them, huh? Where is Amazon TV? Well, this would be the drama of all. Forget the journey to Wrexham, right? This is TV gold. This last year has been TV gold. They could have smashed it.
It really, really has been. It's got to this point now. Obviously, we're going to have these meetings today. Where are we? And people in the chat, is a journalist said yesterday, and Simeon commented, and we're going to speak about Simeon from We Are Tottenham TV shortly, because of a phenomenal tweet he put out, or 2 tweets, because the person next to me put a little bit of a tweet that went supersonic yesterday, and what the not the implications, but what the consensus is from those tweets. But there's this journalist that Simeon retweeted, obviously it was a German publication, said Harry Kane may or may not have played his last game for Spurs, and it's like, well done for your incredible
journalism. He may or he may not. Wow,
it's outstanding, mate. Do you know what? I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed at the moment. I might put out a title and become a journalist. I may or may not hate Levy. Who knows? But thumbs up, thumbs down. Has Harry Kane played his last game for Tottenham? What's your thoughts, Johnny? Has he?
I love Harry Kane. He's been an amazing servant for this club. As I said before, generational talent. He needs to go now. I don't want him to go, but he needs to go now, because this is dragging on. This is overshadowing. Absolutely. I called this 6-7 weeks ago when I said what was going to happen is the Harry Kane thing is going to overshadow everything Ange does. It's not going to be his tactics. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be, has Ange got control of Harry Kane? Is he staying? And is he bowing to Levy? And is he going to get any centre-backs? But it's all Kane. Kane this, Kane that, Kane the other. He needs to go. I think Shakhtar is going to be his goodbye, personally. I would like him to go before, because I think the Shakhtar game is less than about a week. I love the way, can I just add here, right? What I don't understand is we played 45 minutes against West Ham, 45 minutes against some Sailors, and then we're going to play 2 games in 3 days before the season starts. It's the worst preparation ever. Harry Kane, Shakhtar Donetsk, last game, farewell. Well, will Levy not even give him that?
Okay, but your answer to the question, has he played his last game for Spurs as we speak right now?
No, I think Shakhtar will be his last.
Do you know what? Now you say that with the saying goodbye to the fans, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, I think Hugo's got to play in that game and do his goodbye if he's still ill, or will do. Not he should.
Should he drop one just for old time's sake?
Or have a game where he just displays perfect distribution, where he can kick the ball and find out he's like the best passer in the world. So yeah, I mean, with me, do I want him gone? No. I started the end of the last season. That doesn't make sense. I ended last season thinking that's it. He's done. He's gone. And if he does go, I will clap him off. I will say, do you know what, Harry? You don't deserve to be here. Off you go. Go and do what you want. Then with the lack of silence after the end of the season, and Ange coming in, and things like I started to drift back onto the side of, do you know what? I think he's staying.
Yeah.
And I should have learned, because I've told everyone I'm fluent in Levy bullshit. I know this guy inside out, as people will know who have watched me from the beginning when I speak about Levy and how this goes. I have about as good a success rate as the U.S. Attorney's Office when it comes to convicting him. So I'm quite high in the Levy bullshit. And now, unfortunately, I'm firmly, and I'm not budging. I want to be proven wrong. I think he's gone. I have to stress so much. I don't want him to be gone. But I really, really think this. Now, we're going to move on, and we're going to save your tweet, Johnny, and what happened. And I'm going to go into Simeon's tweet. Actually, before I go to Simeon's tweet, obviously people will know that I spent the day at We Are Tottenham TV yesterday, and I spent the day with Simeon. Ben was away, having to take care of a few things, so I will always step in for one of them when they're going out or can't make it.
He was trying to get Sleepy Joe out of the net.
Yeah, well, it's about Sleepy Joe that we're going to talk about, because we had a guy on from who works for Bloomberg News.
All right.
And apparently the guy that we spoke to, David Hellier, he's in London, but his colleague over in the States was the one that broke it. Obviously, the U.S. Attorney's Office did their bit, but apparently they're the lead or one of the lead people from it. So we did a 10-minute interview with him. I don't know if people saw it on We Are Tottenham TV. Did you watch it, Johnny?
I haven't seen it yet, but I had a busy day yesterday.
Yeah, well, we'll come on to you in your bloody busy day yesterday. I had a busy day, and half of my day was dealing with your tweets. So yeah, we did this interview, and it was really it was trying to explain and give a more in-depth analysis about the state of affairs that are going on right now. I strongly advise people to go over to the mothership and watch the video. Like I said, it's only a 9-10 minute video, so go over and watch it when you can. Not right now, don't leave us. But yeah, so there's quite a lot to take from it. And one of the things we spoke about was, could this expedite a sale for Tottenham Hotspur? And he went in quite a bit, and he even said, you know what, there has been a host of people that have come in to want to buy the club or put money in.
Well, I'd said this to you, yeah.
But a certain and as he said it, I was like, go on, where you going with this? Where you going with this? I was like, please, in my head, it's like, please say, yeah, but no, I Johnny, I knew, but I was just waiting. And if people watch it, when he says, yeah, but there's a certain person called Daniel Levy who skyboshed it, I just raise my hand up and go, yes, you've given me gold. There's been a lot more interest than we think. There is a lot more interest still than we think. And he was saying this is not good. We weren't rocket. We're all good, but I would strongly advise. I don't want to misquote him. To watch that video.
Can I just say here that
you can go on, Johnny.
The Premier League have said, should Sleepy Joe be jailed, it will not affect Tottenham Hotspur or anything to do with the club, right? I think
Yep.
the only time it does is if Daniel is involved in buying shares and stuff with Sleepy Joe. I'm not insinuating that's the case, but that's the only scenario I can think of. Look, the thing is, when he denies having any conversations with the sale of the club, it's really farcical. I mean, you had Todd Bowley who wanted to buy our club, right? Okay, so indirectly we would have had Saudi owners through Clear Lake Capital. They had the QSI guys landed at Hotspur Way in a helicopter and all got out in their ropes. So, hello, you know, you can't fool people. The trouble is, when it comes to full disclosure, that might be where the problem may lay with Tottenham Hotspur, because there's a myriad of companies. You've got ENIC, but within ENIC, there's 13 different sub companies involved in that. We need him to sell. We desperately need him to sell. But what we don't want is a mass leverage buyout and end up with someone like the Glazers, who just basically borrow money against the club incessantly. Listen, from a selfish point of view, I don't care, obviously, because I just want to see trophies. But for the long-term good of the club, we can't really have that. But we need someone to come in now, whether it's at QSI, whether it's Liberty Media, whoever. We just want an owner that cares about winning on the pitch, right? That's it. We want winning on the pitch. We want to be given hope and a chance that we could possibly go ahead and win something. For me and for everyone out there, there are no memories for finishing fourth. None. No one can sit there and say, do you remember where you were the day we finished fourth? No. But you remember where you were the day we won the cup. So,
Yep. No, you're completely right with this, and we're going to have to wait and see what goes on here. But like I said, I strongly advise people to go and watch that video. So that's definitely going to be worth it. Just to say, if everyone, we really are trying to grow the channel. So if you can, smash a like if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button. We are going to be bringing a lot more content. I've also been speaking with an American journalist, not this one that's been on a couple of streams before. And we're going to do a few bits together when there's stuff going on in the States to bring you the latest news. A really nice guy by the name of Tim Leonard will be coming on there. There's lots more to come from the channel. And also we will be taking questions. But for me to clearly see them and be able to star them, can you just put TOT and then the little minus sign, just so I can see it clearly in the comments, because the comments come in pretty quick, just so I can spot them. Now, carrying on from my day at We Are Tottenham TV.
Yeah, do them Simeon and I'll do the one.
Simeon put a tweet out. And you know what? I'm gonna let me find it. I'll bring it out because
I've got it here. Shall I read it?
Okay, I'll get you to read it. But what happened is, let me just say, when you have, we all know how bad this centre-back issue has been. We all know how badly we've needed it. We've known just how poor we've been at it. And we talk about it, us YouTube content creators and guests, and on social media, people put their tweets out. But do you know what? Obviously, Johnny, when he does his tweets, a lot of them, a majority of them, and people got to understand it with Johnny's, a lot of them are comedic value. They're not, this is happening. So many people come at Johnny going, this is so good, it's pathetic, this is this, but it's comedy. It's what Johnny does. I will go as direct as they come and just kneecap Levy, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it. But Tequila, I'm just about to get Johnny to read it. But what Simeon did, Simeon put a tweet out that was literally just facts. No glossy around it, no comedy, no hashtags, no whatever. And basically, hi Wolfsby, just want to say thank you for the super chat. Wolfsby, thank you very much indeed, brother. Hope you're well. So as we're saying, Simeon put a tweet out. Johnny, take it away.
Right, so since Spurs signed Toby in 2015, for 12 million. This has been our business at centre back in the last 5 years. Okay, are you ready? 2016, nobody. 2017, Davinson Sanchez, 42 million. 2018, nobody. 2019, nobody. 2020, the mighty, the great Joe Rodon, 12 million. 2021, Cuti Romero, 42 million for the Psycho, right? 2022, nobody, unless you want to include Clement Longley, right, on loan. And 2023, so far, nobody. I've got to tell you, you know, when you look at the amount of defenders that teams have signed over the last 5-6 years, and compared to us, it's embarrassing. You know, Chelsea do not have one single player other than Kepa left at that club when they won the Champions League. And we've got Eric Dyer, who's been there 9 years, Ben Davies, 9 years, Davinson Sanchez, 6 years, Ryan Sessegnon, 4 years, Tanganga, 4 years as a pro, that is, Joe Rodon, 3 years. That's 35 years between 6 defenders that probably wouldn't get into another Premier League team. We are a shambles. We are a joke. Arsenal, when Arsene Wenger left Arsenal, which I think was 2017, I think it's 2016, 2017, Arsenal have one player left at that club, Rob Holding. It was Granit Xhaka as well. I think we have 9 or 10 players that are still there from when Arsene Wenger goes. The club is a dereliction of duty. He has mishandled this club on the football pitch over and over and over again. And I'm sure what we say to our kids, right? Son, it's no problem. Making mistakes is part of life, but only a fool makes the same mistake over and over and over again. And that's what he is guilty of.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'm saying on top of that, I'm just going to bring up a chat from Tin Legs Tony. To be fair, we had central defenders fixed at that time. That was not a problem. Like, so I agree with you when we had Jan and Toby, but the thing is, we are in this mess now.
Succession.
Because it's not even that, because what you do, just because you've got the great, you make sure you replace the great. You make sure if one of the greats get injured, suspended, you don't go from elite to the bang average. You strengthen when you're at your strongest, not at your weakest. And we've made this mistake over and over again. And we all woke up yesterday, obviously. Now, when Simeon, this is how it is at Tottenham Hotspur. This is why when Johnny and I do these things, and when we've done our pre-recorded, 9 times out of 10, within an hour or two of pre-recording them, something else will break. It'll be like, oh, for God's sake. But what happened yesterday is we all woke up to hear, we knew about Taps over. We knew this one was pretty much dead. Well, let's face it, we pretty much knew it was gone. Anyway, then found out we're not progressing with Van der Ven. Shock horror. Then we found, obviously, they said, but we hope to get a compromise with Ashley Phillips. And then basically, Johnny, what happened with you and me happened with me and Simeon. Maybe it's me that's the problem. I'm the problem. We got home. I was just sitting down, laid down, just before my parents took me out for dinner last night to celebrate my sobriety. And then it came in that Tosin, our third first choice, is now off to Monaco, or prefers what you just cannot write. So this is now the top 3, the youth product we can't agree with, in a position, like I said, the thing you've got to take from Simeon's tweet, like I said, there's no smoke and mirrors, there's no deceiving, there's no play on words, there's no nothing. If anyone can actually condone the 4, barring Cuti Romero,
Yeah.
if anyone could condone those 3 centre-backs over 5 years, I don't know where we're going. This has got to the point where you look at it, Liverpool are now going for Lavia. Everyone in the league knew that midfield was their Achilles heel last season. Everyone knew it. Just like when they sold Coutinho, and everyone knew their Achilles heel was a central defender and goalkeeper. Shock horror. What did they do? They sold a huge asset just to go and get that sorted. Liverpool needed their midfield sorted. Started bringing players in before selling. And now we're led to believe, and I'm growing more and more convinced by this, that it looks like once again Tottenham Hotspur, who have got all these events going on, all these skywalks, all these other off the field revenue streams coming in, are back in that good old place of where we have to sell to buy.
I got to tell you, Brian, I got to give a big shout out to Paul Barber at Brighton. Yeah, we had Paul Barber at our club.
Yep.
He is probably one of the best organisers of a football club there is in football. He is absolutely superb. He says no one is irreplaceable.
Look at this. Sorry, Joe, I just want to bring this up. Tin Legs Tone, thank you very much. Liverpool started last season with an average age of 30 in midfield. When they play Lavia McAllister, and I can never say that guy's name, so I'm not going to try and butcher it, the average age goes down to 20.
That's a fantastic midfield.
That is a big boy club doing big boy things, acting like a big boy, and getting their shit sorted.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're three fantastic signings. But no, what I was going to say about Paul Barber was, he says that no one is irreplaceable, including himself. So what they have is a plan of succession. What happens if something happened to Tony Bloom? What happens if something happened to Paul Barber? What happens if something happened to Alexi McAllister? They have a plan of succession, non-stop. So we will not sell a player unless we have a player in place that can replace him. So when they sold us Basuma, they had Mwepu, right, who unfortunately had the heart condition.
Yeah.
Every player they sell, they have another one coming through. And you'll see this season, right? You know, they'll get rid of the striker, and they've bought in Yao Pedro, and they've got Insasio. They've got a whole stream of players. We don't have a plan of succession. We didn't replace Ericsson. We didn't replace Toby. We didn't replace Jan. We didn't replace Carl Walker. Okay? We don't have a plan of succession. Great businesses plan for the bad times or the sad times when you lose your star asset. You have to think in that mindset, right, to keep your business at the top. And just when we were on the verge of cracking it, he decides to not have a signing for 500 days with Poch, right? We should have been smashing it then. When we finished behind Leicester that season, that was the time to reinvest big time. And the club, we just do it all wrong. It's cheap, cheap, cheap. What is the way that we can spend the least amount of money getting the best value that we can, right? The Ashley Phillips one, the only thing I would say about the Ashley Phillips one, he was given permission to come and speak to the club. Obviously, they'd agreed it because otherwise you wouldn't get to the stage of doing the medical. And then it all went to pot. But like everything with Spurs, we don't look at the detail. I mean, this is a club that didn't realise that you could only have 8 players on loan and had to give away Doherty. I mean, you know, the club is run like an amateur hour at times on the football pitch.
So let me just, Joe, what? There's a couple of things we're going to go through, and then we're going to go back to this. But I'm going to talk about something that obviously I'm very well in the know about, and I think people know what I'm going to be talking about when I say I'm very well in the know about it. But Johnny, you'll know with who you know and whatever. I'm hoping this ain't true, because if this is true, it just goes to show the words you just said, planning.
Well, that's what it's about.
How bad this football club is. I hadn't heard this. I haven't checked everything out to see. I haven't checked the world of Twitter and everything today. PodGod10, a great supporter of the channel, and I speak to him a lot on Twitter. Big up, my man. The fact Scott Munn won't start at Spurs till after the transfer window ends sums this up. Is that what we're looking at now? I don't.
So,
like I said, I'm not doubting him.
Right. So okay. So when the guy came in, okay, and he was sculling around, and he wasn't meant to start till July the 1st, and he was pictured at the airport, and we all know that he was around and he was involved with everything. They didn't, again, right? Not acting professionally. If the guy can't start till July the 1st, then he can't start till July the 1st. And if he's broken the terms and conditions of the city's group's gardening leave, because he's probably got information that's from City, not that we were ever going to buy the same players as them, but might have been youth players that he has connection with, that he's tried to sign. But there was obviously an issue because he didn't start on July the 1st. And there was a small little snippet in the press which said his start has been delayed while negotiations carry on with the City group. Meanwhile, he's hiding on tour. I mean, this is what you get with the trolls. I did a tweet, where is Scott? Where is Scott Munn?
Yep.
Right? And then I got all this abuse. Oh, you're pathetic. You know, he's out in Australia. Well, why is he out in Australia? If he's not allowed to start work, why is he running around doing stuff for the club? If he's not meant to be starting, because he was on the bloody plane, he was out there. This whole thing is just a joke. There's nothing that we do. It's like with Parachichi, right? We carry on. If we have the transfer window, the next day he does his big speech about what a great window it was. The next day he has to step down. Scott Munn has obviously broken the terms and conditions. Otherwise, he would have started 1st of July. Now we're looking at the 1st of September. That's a 2-month delay. It's obviously to stop him operating in some shape, way, or form with the information. I don't understand how that stops him personally, because he can still make calls.
Yep. Just quickly, Paddy. Your message there. Can we please not speak about other people in the chat, mate? I really would appreciate it, please, brother. But yeah, I mean, my very quick response to Hobgod is, if this is true, and here is the Kaufman, so we'll bring in the Cough, bring yourself in.
There we go. Morning.
So, Ben, I've just sent you a WhatsApp. If you could do the redirect to Savage show for when we finish. Ben, I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in in a second. Yeah, if this is true with Scott Munn, it just goes to show how shambolic this football club is. It will go to show just how bad we are being run, and I'm going to use this opportunity, Ben. Whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to go on a little.
We are consistently shambolic, though. We are consistently shambolic.
I mean that's something to be proud of. That's something to be proud of, I must say. I'll use this and just keep starting some questions, Ben. Then I'll get you to come and have your say on everything we've been speaking about, so you're up to speed. So I've had a lot of people in the last, when did it break? Tuesday evening, Wednesday? Again, ask about protests. And a lot of people were tweeting me directly or private messaging me saying, what is going on? What is going on with the protests? Are we going? When we doing? Are you going to the training ground? Will you be at Lily White House? Will you be at the stadium? Will you be here? Will you be there? What are you doing? What's going on? So I can confirm we are seriously talking. And when we say we're in serious talks, I can promise you it's a lot more serious than when Spurs say we're creeping, we're advancing, we're monitoring our interests, we're watching the situation, we're
interested.
So we're flirting with protesting, we're creeping towards protesting, things are. I've had loads of people yesterday after the Harry Kane news. This is what really tipped it. With the Harry Kane news, I had so many people tweeting me going, if this happens, you guys have got to be at the training ground from when it happens, when it's advanced.
Will they be there?
This is what I'm coming to, Johnny.
Enough of the talkers.
So this is where we are. Well, what we've been talking about as well is the way we're going about this has to be different this time. Or not different, but we're going to try. We will be protesting. Things will be going ahead. But for the first game of the season, like for IE Man U, if we're going, we're going to try and focus this. Obviously, we all know what it's surrounding. We all know what the true message is. But we're looking at, if you're looking at the ticket prices during this cost of living crisis, we can't go in and go, oh, what we doing during transfers? What the fuck you doing? Whilst the transfer window is still open. People will remember when Ryan, Graham, and myself started that, not this January gone, the January before, and we were there, I think it was from January the 16th to the 31st, every single day from 6 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m., but till about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. When we did that, on the final day of the transfer window, what happened? Kulusevski Bentancur. And everything we had worked towards had just got absolutely kiboshed. Because that was about transfers. So is it clever to start protesting during the window about transfers incoming? It really isn't. It's not a good look. And it's, as much as I'd love to, and I want to go now, I'd start protesting now at the crap that we're doing. We will lose a lot of clout, a lot of
credibility,
reputation, a lot of everything if we aim this at transfers whilst the transfer window's still open. But obviously, the ticket prices, like Liverpool did, and this is where I'm coming with what you said, Johnny. With Liverpool, when they did it during the game at Sunderland and they were 2-0 up, they said no to this ticket price hike and said they're walking out at whatever minute it was, the cost of the ticket, 77 or something like that, whatever it may be. Again, as I said to loads of people when I'm retweeting this, it's all well and good people telling us and tweeting me or tweeting Billy Carnes and saying, are you protesting? Are you going there? Are you going to be there? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? The question about the answer to that question is when me, Billy, Ryan, Graham, Boogie, Andrew Rose, Stout, when we all say we're going to be there, we're there. So when you hear stuff that we're going to do and we say we're going to be there or we're planning to do this, we need more than retweets right now. We need more than people saying they're going to come. We need bodies, and we need them big, because as we're looking at this and as things are getting more and more toxic and the stuff at the top is the stories are getting worse and worse and worse. The lack of everything is getting worse and worse and worse. We can't have it that people say, yes, the support is incredible. Don't get me wrong. This isn't a dig at anyone. I'm not trying to. If it's coming across that way, I apologise. This isn't about. We always say, if you can't come to the protest, retweet, social media, blah blah blah.
Brian, sorry to interrupt you here, right? Because I'm going to. But the talk is huge. The talk is great, but we all know the same. Talk the talk, but are you going to walk the walk, right? And, you know, far too many people, right, talk and say they're coming and they're going to do it and they don't do it. It's okay if it's a few, but we're talking about too many do that, right? Okay? And it's about numbers. If you really are happy with everything, then don't show up. But don't start supporting everything. And then when it comes to it, actually do nothing. And then have the idiot trolls that come along and say, look, you've got no one there. It's all hot air. Because that's what it appears to be, hot air. And what Brian's asking for is if you can support and you can get down there, even if it's for 10 minutes, you don't need to stand there all day, but to show some solidarity with the protest and the fact that, you know, you don't have to be unhappy with every aspect of what Brian's saying. But even if it's just one aspect of it, like the ticket prices, you might be happy with this, that, or the other. But if you're really pissed off about the season ticket prices, come down and say something, you know, and be there.
Yeah. So as I was saying, well, when it comes to this, that's the thing. I mean, I can see people here: DJ Samuel, DJ Green Alert, Phil P. Obviously, you two are in here. There's people. I'm just seeing the Nick's here. There are so many people in this that I know have been there. And this is what it's become now. Listen, what Johnny was saying is more to the match day if you're there.
Yeah.
People are talking to me about I'm kind of talking right now about training ground and Harry Kane.
Sorry, Ben.
Which is no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So obviously, as Ben will know when Ben joined, the training ground one is obviously it's a lot more complex to get to. It's a lot more. It's not like I'm going to Tottenham for a match day, and you're literally going to the match, and that's what the time you've allocated. You'll be there. The training ground is a whole other level because it's in the middle of Enfield, in the middle of nowhere in Enfield. Nothing around it for miles, apart from a nice little pub that we go have a drink in after. Alcohol free for me, obviously. But when we did it in January, the first one, the numbers grew towards the end. But the one that we went to this January just gone, I arrived just before it started, and there was about 70 people there at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, Ben being one of them, to literally give it their all. So we are going to keep you posted. Like I said, we are creeping, we are flirting, we are monitoring the situation. But this time, if it does it, this can't be where we've had 60s, 70s, 80s. We ended the season really strong with over a couple of hundred for the Man U and for Brentford. That needs to at least double, treble, getting closer to like the nearer 1,000 kind of people. And that's a huge ask, especially for the training grounds. But we need people. So we will be keeping you abreast of everything. We will be keeping regular updates. But we need people. So if you are either A, going to the game, or B, if we announce we're going to the training ground and you have some time and you can get to the training ground, not you live abroad, you live up in Newcastle and you're not coming down for a train, completely understandable. But yeah, Ben, that's what I would say about the protest. Let's just bring you up to date on what we spoke about. We spoke about Harry Kane. Is this the end? Is it not? What's going to happen? Obviously, well, we've had Black Friday. We had Defender Thursday yesterday. And that they've been the two main crux of the
Munn Monday. Are we having
just another Monday. Just another Manic Monday. Oh God! Why did I just say that out loud?
Tuesday.
Why did I say that out loud, mate? Tell you the truth. Right now, we could have Craig David 7 days playing for Tottenham Hotspur.
I know. Wish it were a Sunday. Wish it were a Sunday.
Mate, I'm going to try and get. There you go. I'm going to try and get Craig David 7 days.
Oh my God! Sunny Sunday. That's all we need.
That's what I'm doing. But Ben, fire away. What's your thoughts, brother?
I'm just laughing. I think it's brilliant. I just think it's so funny that people are now starting to come onto the idea that maybe we might have been correct. What was it? Ben and Sim from We Are Tottenham TV, big up them boys, posted a thing that we have all the centre backs we've bought over the last 8 years, and people are still not waking up to the fact they only buy players to sell shirts, not to win football matches. Because if you were buying players to win football matches, you would have bought 2 centre halves last year and got rid of the rot. You would have got another one this year to get rid of another one. And you
know what, Ben? That's exactly what Perchy's saying.
Exactly. Perchy's super chat. That's what I was alluding to. Big up Perch.
Correct.
We don't even let them rot. We bring in deadwood.
We got a forest.
Gap.
We got a forest full of deadwood, rotting. Yeah. Perchy's right. Okay. We don't recycle. We don't renew, recycle. Right. We just rot.
Yeah, Tottenham are a forest fire waiting to happen now.
100%.
We are a forest fire. One strike of a match, this whole thing goes up, and that one strike of the match is about to happen because Harry Kane's going to go. We're going to have less goals in that team. We're not going to be losing 30 goals. It's a silly argument to have.
We're not. No way. I think we're going to score as many, if not more.
Plenty of scorers. Maybe the system will work better with the new system. Yeah, but there's one thing we consistently do, and that is ship goals. We ship goals like an absolute sieve. Our defence has got more holes in it than a 1980s pair of jeans. That is his football club. That is his football club. And until they start saying, right, let's run like a football club, we're true.
Right. So we've got 5 minutes before we hand over to Sava.
Yeah.
Ryan,
What
you've
about
just,
subscribes and likes? Huh?
yeah, so we'll do it. But Ryan, listen, I've just seen your WhatsApp. We're finishing in 5 minutes, brother.
Yeah.
We're finishing in 5 minutes. I put it in the group that we were having a pop up. I think I did. No, I forgot to,
You
so I
did.
apologise. No, not in our Tottenham on Tour group. I didn't, so I apologise, Ryan. We'll get you on soon, very, very soon, or we'll do something together this weekend. So we're going to rattle through the questions I've got here, and the first one we'll go through these quickly because we've got 5 minutes. Bobby Andrews, big up, brother, and it's about exactly what. So let me ask a question for everyone. If Kane leaves, what do you expect in the to get out of the money? A defender, Tapsoba, defensive midfielder, Kessie, striker, Mawani, or Tony? We'll go through these quickly. So, go on, Johnny.
One defender, one top defender, one young defender. So we will get one defender plus Ashley Phillips, and we'll get. I believe that Spurs will try and get Ivan Toney and do with Richarlison, because there's probably a deal to be done with Toney because he'll only have a year left on his contract when this goes. So Mawani looks better because basically he can play out wide and through the middle. But I reckon they're going to go for
Johnny. That's 90 million.
Well, they said that they would take 67 million euros plus add-ons. The CEO made a statement to that effect. But when they find out that we get 100 million for Kane, the price will go up.
That price will go up, of course, of course. But it's just, I don't know why people have got Bremer in their head all of a sudden. He's a really good defender in a back three. Why do Juventus want him out? They've shifted.
I think he's just used. I think he's just used it as an example.
Of course, but I've seen Tottenham fans all over the internet saying, "Get Bremer in, get Bremer in, get Bremer in, get Bremer." He's great in a back three. Juventus have gone to a back four, and he's a fish out of water, which is why they're looking to move him on.
Can I just quickly say,
deliberately for this system?
Can I just say, though, the Tosin report, Tosin is not going to Monaco for 5 million euros, okay? Yeah. Not a chance. He might only have a year left, right? But Fulham are not selling him for 5 million euros. That is clickbait journalism, right? Yeah. Tosin or Mickey van der Ven, for me.
So there we go. So Van
der Ven is the guy we need because he's a left-footed centre-back. He's quick. He's good on the ball. That's the guy we need.
Correct.
He's not expensive either. Young.
For me, go on, Ben. Go, carry on, brother. Carry on. Go. Before you finish, carry on.
Go on. Do the next one.
Carry it on.
Do the next one.
Okay, I'm just thinking.
I'm fully concurrent with Johnny. Two defenders, a proper defender and a younger defender. A proper defender to play with Romero and an understudy. I'd love to have a defensive midfielder as well, but I think a lot of them, I think Sangare is one that's really hot on the market at the moment from PSV. He's a really good player, but I don't think he'll come to Tottenham anytime soon. We need to be looking at a defensive midfielder at any time soon.
If we get outgoings, we will get others in.
We won't, Johnny. So here we go. Here's my answer to that question very, very quickly. I don't trust us with this money whatsoever.
Yeah.
I would say, and I'm not just saying this because of what I feel about this, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Ashley Phillips comes in, maybe a cheap replacement striker, not a cheap one, but not a good enough one, and the rest goes in their skyrocket. I just honestly, there's two statements I always go by. One, I don't trust Daniel Levy to tell me the time. And the second one, the only person at Spurs that I trust that has a voice and speaks is the guy that reads the team sheet out on match day because he's given the team sheet. That's the only guy.
I trust Paul Coyett as well.
Oh no, yeah, but Paul Coyett. I'm talking the read stuff. Yeah, Paul Coyett adds that. But okay, so the interviewer and the guy that reads the team sheet out.
Yeah,
that's a brilliant circle of trust, isn't it? And this just shows where we are. That and also if we bring centre backs in after we've sold Kane, and that doesn't cause a reaction with this fan base, then I don't know what will. Right, Bobby, I think we've got a few minutes. We're going to go through them. So green alert. If Barca lose their manager and come in fans before the start of the season, Does he take?
Come on, DJ Green. I reckon if Wrexham came in, he'd go. The state of him, the state of the guy, right? I did a tweet yesterday. The guy looked broken. The realization on his face that, oh my God, I now realize why, right? A man, the big bear with ambition and the speech and the chat, just looked to shadow his former self after only 3 weeks in the job. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Correct.
Save Ange.
Ben, what's your answer?
I'd take it if I was him. Sunny Spain gets to get some beers with Perch, even though I don't think he drinks. It's just a nice place to be, whereas Tottenham is an absolute shambles.
Correct. And I'm just to say, listen, do you know what? This is coulda, woulda, shoulda, if, buts, and maybes. You've just got to look at it right now.
Manager.
He can't. Listen, I love this dude, and I'm loving what he's doing, but he's got to be getting pissed off right now, like severely. Like, do you know what? There's probably a WhatsApp group going, "Told ya, warned ya, you wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
You've taken the plunge." And this is it. So that's green alert. We've got another one. Carl Valencia. If we don't get any new players and Kane goes, how many points are we getting from the first 6 games? I think we could be bottom 3 after first 6 games this season. Ben, you go first.
I don't think we'll be in the bottom 3, but we won't be anywhere near the pace, especially if we don't get any defenders in. If we don't get any defenders in, we are in for a rocket. I'm thinking we're finishing 11th if we don't get any defenders in and we lose Kane. Possibly worse. It's an utter disaster waiting to happen. It's going to be funny. It's going to be really funny because they won't have Champions League football. They won't be able to say, "Oh, the last 15, there'll be utter disaster. How are you going to fix it?"
Sorry, Ben, we've got just literally a few minutes.
Yeah, no. All I can see is Kane coming out, Dye coming out with the captain's armband on. That will send me into like meltdown as it is. I think we will struggle.
He's made captain.
I think first 6 games we could end up with maybe 9-10 points, something like that. If we don't get any players in, I don't know where that will put us. It won't be great.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in closing here that should this happen, Cole, with Kane going and no new players coming in, I kept saying things near the end of the season, which was I don't care about the results, I don't care about the starting formation, I don't care about the passages of play, I don't care about the lineup, I don't care about the bench, I don't care about the manager, I don't care about director of football or chief footballing operator, I don't care about the points. There will be one thing and one thing only that I will care about, and that is making Daniel Levy's life a living hell. And that will be more important to me than those opening 6 games. Don't care if people clip it. I don't care if people say, "Oh, look at Daigle, he's going off on it again." There's that saying, tough love, and this is where we've come. And I will say, if that happens, Carl, where Kane goes, no players come in, and people still come out and defend this ownership, then I will not be held responsible for the chaos and mayhem I'm going to cause outside training grounds and stadiums. Because even though I really want to go in and see Ange play, I want to go in and see Ange. But what I said when I walked out of Manchester United, I will not go back in that stadium whilst the owners are here. I will not. And I'll be going back to Canada in October. And Brian Ireland, a co-founder of this channel, is coming over for the Manchester United game, and Ben has given him a ticket to go. And I would have loved that opportunity to go into the ground and watch a game with my brother from Canada. But I had the opportunity. I was like, I can't do it. I said I'm not going in, and I can't. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But I'm a man of my word when it comes to this stuff. So yeah, we're going to wrap up now because Sava's about to go live, or whoever's going live is going live. We're going to be redirecting you. But first of all, Johnny, where can people find you? Let me just move that.
There you go. Johnny H3232. We'll probably do a space later on today. So if you're around, please give us a follow and then you'll get a notification when I'm doing the space. So come in and let's talk, because there's going to be plenty to talk about. Okay. Whether you're Levy in, Levy out, Kane in, Kane gone, whatever your views, get in here and come and talk, and let's chat it out.
Yeah,
and
Johnny,
again.
always Johnny. And I will say, I was talking about a Canadian brother, and then this man popped up. My other Canadian brother, Jason. It's wicked to see you've joined us just as we're closing. But this is another guy that I'm seeing this when I get back to Canada, no matter what. Much love to you, Jason, brother. Ben, what's going on with you today?
It's the usual stuff. The coffee company will be live at its usual spot at 2 o'clock. And I don't know what we're going to talk about today. Cut and hairs, umbrella, coffee, maybe. Something like that. I've pinned it at the top of the chat. So if anyone's interested to find out what we're talking about today, I think Bobby K might be joining me today, possibly. So join us there. We're going to have a laugh and just have a nice time. So everyone's welcome to join. And
I will say as well.
Top of the chat.
I will say as well. I don't know if he's watching right now, Bobby K, but if he watches this back, maybe a special day for me, but it's a special day for him as well. It's him and his wife's anniversary. So big up, much love to Bobby and Suki. Happy anniversary. Many more to come. How could I end this? What could I possibly...
Tomorrow's another day.
Thank you, Ben.
Tomorrow.
All I will say is like, share, comment, please subscribe. And as always, Levy out.